Story begins, our protagonist named Grid. Grid thought I spent months and months, obediently listening to you guys, but now I'm being chased after, am I going to die here? The warrior sliced his back, Asher said, foolish boy, you got too greedy. You got blinded by greed and betrayed my trust even after signing the contract. Although I no hopes on you, I should at least praise your tenacity that accomplished the. Grid said, even though I completed the difficult quest, you are treating me like a dog without any reward. Asher said, of course I will reward you, for you who lost my trust, the reward is death. Grid thought, is this it? To think that this is the result after pursuing a quest for months by putting my life on the line. This outrageous, shitty game, the world's greatest virtual reality game. Satisfy, with over 2 billion players worldwide, it is a fantasy world so vast that it can be called another Earth. The explored lands cannot compare in size to the undiscovered lands, and that place was, as expected, in a certain unexplored area. Northern End Cave, the deepest location within the cave, an area with all types of battle gear piled up like an overwhelming mountain. It remained unexplored until a certain user arrived and discovered it first. 1 hour ago, Grid, a level 73 warrior, found the S-grade quest item for Earl Asher, the legendary craftsman's rare book. Grid said it was a difficult journey, anyone else would have quit the game by now. Grid said, an S-grade quest that I could not even give up halfway. Just how many levels did I drop? How many potions and equipment did I lose to deal with this? Grid thought, once I get the Sun Sword as the reward, I won't talk to that Asher dude ever again. Grid noticed the quest item showed unidentified and you need to be discerning with Eye of Palladian. Grid thought, wait, if I remember correctly, it was an expensive appraisal item, around 500,000 won. Grid wonders, there's no way I could earn more through sheer labor. Do you know how many loans I got while playing this game? After struggling, Grid wonders, I might able get more from this, I am counting on you. System alerted appraising the legendary craftsman's rare book. You have discovered a legendary item. Pagma's rare book. This is a book that contains the techniques of Pagma, the master blacksmith who transcended human limits. By opening the book, you can change your class to Pagma's descendant. Rating legendary, reputation will rise by 500 across the content. Grid covered his mouth, excited laughed, he can't believe it is a legendary class item, which means that he can become the strongest, one and only class. But then he give up the thought very quick. Grid said, wake up now, I am here to clear an S-grade quest, it would feel distasteful to leave the quest like this, I should just sell this thing. Legendary class, it should cost at least a few 100 million won. Grid thought, I've even been doing some hard labor due to the game price and school expenses, the only thing I am confident about is my tenacity. But all my friends left me for being addicted to the game, even my family ignores me, thinking I am a useless loser. But it's over now, say goodbye to my nightmarish life. Grid said, Mom, Dad, my little sister, I did it, I finally become successful through the game. While Grid think about to sell it now and log out. System alerted, you cannot end the game here. The quest Earl Asher's secret request S-grade is changed to Earl Asher's anger SS. Asher appeared with his men and said, foolish traveler, you all have the same greed. System alerted, Earl Asher is angry that you tried to take away the rare book. He intends to kill you and recover the book. Asher said, it is a worthy verdict for a traitor like you. Grid replied, stop shitting me, you even reduced my reputation that I struggled to accumulate to reduce item prices. Asher said, a meaningless plea, get him. Back to present, while Grid almost being killed. He wonders, I am still a sturdy level 73 warrior and cast Guardian Shield to stun the warrior, but he finds out it did not get stunned. Grid thought, are you kidding me, half of my health though, and blocked it. Even though I knew Asher was at level 300, I did not know these guys were this strong. This is not a quest made to be cleared in the beginning, this crappy game, the admin should all just die. That's right, of course, there's no way this chance of a lifetime would ever happen to me. Grid wonders, wait, if I die here, what about the book, won't this disappear as well? I can't clear the quest nor log out, I obviously can't sell the item either. If it is an item that will disappear from the inventory, then I only have a single choice left. Asher said, he's trying to open the book, stop him. Grid said, too late, you shitty scamming Earl, you should have let me be. System alerted commencing class change. Grid wonders now it's do or die. It's a legendary class. If I become the strongest class, I might possibly clear this quest. System alerted you have changed class to Pagma's descendant, the legendary Blacksmith. Grid thought, is this a production class? To think that I will be doing hard labor in the game as well. Is it because it's a legendary class? It's like I am overflowing with power. Grid wonders, it feels good seeing that Asher bastard panicking. Now I shall entirely deal with you guys and clear this crappy quest. System alerted class changeover, Title 1 who became a legend has been acquired. Grid said you are finished assholes, die. System alerted you are now level 1, you have died. At that moment, in real life, someone said from the phone, therefore, according to the operations team's report, the class change happened 5 minutes ago. The man said, I understand, I will join you at the company. Then he wonders the class change happened, interesting. System alerted your level has dropped by 2, you are now level -1. Quest failed, you are no longer able to enter Patreon, any Patreon soldier will kill you on sight. Grid said, you seriously, kill people just because they got swayed a bit? What's up with that face? You were furious just moments ago. You dirty scammers, these guys are scammers, don't play this game, live a happy life. Soon, Grid wake up from his capsule. Grid said, I could have gained hundreds of million, shame, and her mother said, just what time do you think it is right now? Location, the game satisfies developer operating company. This lady is not he from operations team. This man is the head of the SA group and satisfies developer Chulo. Chulo said the class change happened 5 minutes ago, I was not expecting that. Looks like things will get interesting. I will first have to take a look at the report, is everything ready, team leader Choi? Soon, Nahi said ID Grid, originally a level 73 warrior, now at level -1. His real name is Young Woo. He changed classes using Earl Asher's quest item Pagma's rare book. According to the Intel Room's report, he is an ordinary user who is addicted to the game. His special achievements are staying in the same city for a year to raise reputation and playing in a level 200 area for 3 months while endlessly dying. Although you ordered us to report directly to you for legendary class changes. Look at this foolish and inefficient pattern, we can consider this an accidental case that is unnecessary to report. Chulo replied, really, I think that luck and tenacity are good traits. Nahi said, but he gained the class due to pure luck, so is there any meaning to it, even though I think it is a shame as the operations team leader. Chulo said, I am saying that this luck is what's interesting. As you know, according to the supercomputer Morpheus and the development team's predictions, the Northern End Cave and Pagma's rare book were supposed to be discovered in 2 years. However, that boy broke the predictions, discovered the cave and activated the quest chain to get the book. Can those quests, items, can they all be explained with luck? And there's another interesting thing, the minus level. Normally speaking, the Asher quest is given out after level 350, but the lower leveled Grid changed classes because he did not want to lose the item. Dropping to level 1 is an extreme penalty that follows legendary class changes. Chulo said, moreover, the rules state that your level drops by a 2 when you fail a quest. Beginners below level 10 are exempted from that rule, but he became a level -1 because he was in a penalty state. Nahi said, wait a moment, does that mean? Chulo said, did you realize? 10 stat points are given per level, and he is the only level -1 user until now. You need 2 level ups to reach level 1 from -1. That means that this boy's stats will be 20 points higher compared to other same level users. If luck stacks up to this point, can it be called inevitability, and if it's inevitability, could it be related to his skills? Nahi said that could mean that there's a disruption of balance in the game, we need to fix it. Chulo said, no need to go that far, as you said he is an inefficient user, so there should not be anything to worry about. Moreover, Pagma's descendant is weak in combat compared to other legendary classes. I will head home now, contact me if there's anything to report. Meanwhile, an uncle told Young Woo, he is calling for you, you have to get the money for the job earlier. After Grid took his salary, the staff discussing that Grid is a game addict. Apparently he does not work well either. They say that babies are born with at least one skill, but for him, so young but incapable for his age, Grid thought this should be enough for the game. To think that paying for the game is all that comes to mind, you should be ashamed a little, you despicable guy. Grid said I was planning on selling items and making a comeback in life. But I just lost a few hundred of millions worth of money. I even kicked away my chance at success. Did I struggle this much just to have my dearest level 73 drop down to -1? Meanwhile, Shula thought I do not see any value in that user. That might be true, but I think that is his greatest asset, while he will have to realize that himself. Grid pondered, should I look for another way? I should also have at least one skill. No, is there nothing that I can correctly do? Whatever, forget it, let's go play the game again. While Chulo wonders, but his tenacity is certainly great. Soon, Grid wonders, now should we have another go? Even if I lose everything, I should at least check out the new class. Things should work fine as long as the capsule holds on. I am counting on you. I will do everything I can to gain a profit from this. System alerted, connecting to satisfy. Grid wonder, where is this place? It does not look anything like yesterday's cave. I worked hard in Patreon to raise my reputation though. It's unfair that they banished me just for a small betrayal. I should find a landmark to find out where I am. Grid wonders, what the hell? Why is this place so gloomy? System alerted, you have entered the Yaten Temple. Grid thought temples are generally level 150 dungeons. This is dangerous. Then he looks on his level, it is really 1. But these options look pretty good. Grid wonders, I could use the enhancement skill to make money. As for the item, should we try it out? Grid find out he managed to equip the level 60 item that he was planning on selling, even though he need more than 200 points in strength. System alerted, a penalty is applied because the item conditions are not met. For Mammon's great sword, attack power and option effects are decreased by 30% and 50% respectively. For Mengel's plate, armor defense and option effects are decreased by 20% and 50% respectively. Grid said, but the drawback is the penalties, but still the sword attack power of 200 and armor with 130. Since normal level 1 equipment's capabilities hover around the 10s. This is almost 10 times better, even with the penalties. Grid thought, amazing, as expected of a legendary class. What a blessing, I am a blessed man. Wait a minute, if this is a level 150 dungeon, then the surrounding area must be field of a similar level. Since this is a Yaten temple, they must be Yaten believers. Are they casting an incantation? Roaming around in this state would be suicide right now. I would die just by grazing them. While Grid wanna leave, a man touched his shoulder. The man told Grid, calm down, you are gonna kill someone at this rate. I am Earlstein's secret bodyguard, my name is Duran. Seeing how you are hiding, it seems like you are not on their side. That girl is Earlstein's daughter, Irene? Indeed, it seems like she was kidnapped during my vacation. This is a difficult situation, but I'm glad to have a help by my side. System alerted, rescued the Earl's esteemed daughter. Rescue Irene within 1 hour, clear reward 3,000 gold, clear reward of low chance become the Earl's son-in-law. Failure level -2. Grid thought, another S-grade quest, this dude, he's an NPC. Duran said usually people would be in a state of fear here, but seeing how you are not, you truly must be powerful. Grid thought, then there's no way a wimp like me would be fine. Did I get some other skill? It's thanks to composure, stat points cannot be distributed, lowers the probability of being affected by a status effect and recovers quickly from one. I should quickly learn about my class's characteristics. Duran said, to think that you will help with the rescue. Thank you for making such a hard decision. Grid replied, but I am not doing it? Duran said, wait a minute, are you saying I should face all those black magicians on my own? Grid thought 3,000 gold is a pity, but my current state is because of another S-grade quest. You think I am crazy? Duran questioned, are not you a powerful person who can withstand the temple's terror? Without you, the rescue is impossible. Please help me. Grid explained, I am fine just because I am lucky. I am a level -1, if I fail again I will be level -3. While Grid said, I am telling you, I am too weak to help you, he accidentally pushes a stone and kill a magician. System alerted, quest accepted. Duran said, since you became the Yaten believers' enemy by killing one of them, we are in the same boat now. Our enemies are fanatical believers who sacrifice humans as offerings. Since they took over the altar, they won't easily let us through. Destiny is inevitable, don't complain and go with the flow. I will clear a passage, I leave the lady in your hands. Grid thought even though I am fully equipped, my health is only at 34. Because of the penalties, I will die just by touching their breasts. Shit. I barely managed to steel myself and made a comeback, and yet you are killing me already. Then Grid noticed Durans moving so quickly and swiftly in this narrow space. Duran said we won't get anywhere just by fighting them. You think so too, right? Grid replied I don't really. Duran ignored and said I know that you were waiting to kill them all at once rather than individually. Duran then pushed Grid and cast float magic to reach safely. Grid said thanks to you I got to breathe again. Duran reminds if you are thankful, then you should go at full power from now on. Because this is where the real rescue starts. Magician yell punish the heretics with your spells. Duran never let them cast magic and threw hidden attacks. A magician said he is mocking our casters, children of Jotun, buy me some time, we absolutely have to kill that heretic. While Grid wonders the magician mob should be around level 150 and yet Duran's facing them all on his own. I might clear the S-grade quest using just the NPC at this rate, then what I can do now is cheering. Grid said do your best, Duran my sunshine, my hope. Next second, magician done their magic casting and defeated Duran. Grid wonders actually I always wanted to be a Jotun believer. Duran said I am merely completing the mission. As the sword that guards the family emblem, to fanatics who have laid their hands on the Stein family, there is no such thing as again. Duran dispersed the black magic and threw hidden weapon once again. Suddenly, a magic shield protected those magicians. A woman said you have such good fortune today, you will have to give up on this offering. It's my S-grade quest to defend the sacrifice. To think that I would face a named NPC like Duran. This is my first exciting quest in a while, will you be a worthy adversary? To me Yura. Yura the Blood Witch. She is a Korean user consistently ranking first in the Black Magician rankings, as well as the 5th in the Unified rankings. She is a famous person who frequently appears on TV due to her beautiful appearance and outstanding abilities. The ultimate expert known for her excellent sense and control that allowed her to combine magic and surpass the limits of a black magician. Grid wonders what is she doing here. Yura questioned Grid, are you the one who activated the S-grade quest here? This was the only place that I could train a new skill without being bothered for being famous. Thanks to you, I now have a pleasant surprise. But won't it be hard for you with that armor and sword, being a level 80 only? Grid thought she got my level wrong, but as I thought. Rankers are different, however I still have Duran. Grid said don't start trembling now. This esteemed Sir Duran is a named NPC. Yura said oh, I was just about to ask you to be my opponent. To commemorate my 230th level. Duran said let's move warrior. Nothing will happen if we stay put, only be being one step ahead. We can win this battle. Yura said you act like an NPC that has completed his 3rd class advancement. However you are not to my liking. Yura cast magic hold Duran's legs and blocked Duran's hidden weapon. Followed by another few magic black holes draining Duran's blood. Grid thought he'll die at this rate, if you fall, I am dead too. Yura said it's an advanced skill in which I poured 30% of my mana. With this, it's finish. Duran said how arrogant young black magician. Let me show you the power that has protected the family emblem for hundreds year. Yura replied you forcibly dispelled a level 220 mesmerize skill. Duran said it's this ring. It's an item that shines during emergencies. It's not perfect, but it can dispel curses and heal your body. Grid said please give me. Duran replied or not you a hell of a beggar. In any case since it's not omnipotent, we have to hurry. Stick with me warrior. Yura thought he's tougher than I thought. Even if I keep my last resort, I have to deal with top level magic. That warrior is the only variable here. But what could a terrified low level user possibly do in this high level field? Seeing Grid action, Yura wonders how pathetic. He was trying to clear the quest using only the NPC. Anyways, now's the time. Great God of Darkness, plant fear and agony in the enemy's hearts and reveal your powers. Yura said, let me end this for sure. Duran, a high rank attack with maximum mana output. Dark Storm. Before the attack hit on Duran, Grid blocked it. Yura thought he's perfectly fine even after taking my attack head on. There's no way I would not know of such an amazing user. Just who is this guy? Grid thought my health is at 1, even though I got hit. Then he recalled back the title, a legend does not die easily. So that's why I am alive. In Yura's vision, just what is he? Is not he a level 80 and he's smiling? Yura shocked and wonders, there's no way I would not know of such an amazing user. Duran step on Grid and jump strike over Yura. Duran said you have to be one step ahead to win. Yura said your last desperate attack, is it? Don't belittle me, Crystal Shield. Yura blocked it and said I am almost at my limit. I have to deal with that guy before it's too late. Then he finds out Grid disappeared. She wonders he simply log out? He remained by the sidelines even though he was that strong? Just who is that user? Meanwhile, system alerted Grid, you died. Your level has dropped by 2, you are now level -3. You are unable to connect to the game for the next 12 hours. Due to dying twice in 24 hours. Back to a moment earlier, damage 1 when Duran step on him. Grid wonders, I was team killed. Dory, you son of the bitch. Yura thought he yielded the quest to me? To Yura? How dare he show sympathy to me? I will find him. Unforgivable. The next day, the unknown user was given a nickname by the community. Ghost of the Yaten Temple. Grid thought this is all Yura's fault. If only she were not there, it would not been a happy ending. It does make me mad, but this is a game where the strong ones rule. Let's calmly think back on it myself. I am the biggest jackass in town. Die Yura. Suddenly, Grid's little sister Sei questioned, did you finally go crazy? She find out Grid's room was damn dirty. Then she questioned, can you really earn money with this game? Grid replied, there's 2 billion people playing this game. If you do it seriously, you could get successful. The Sei reads the comment Grid wrote. Grid explained, this piece of shit did it. It was not me. Sei felt disappointed on his brother behavior and leave. The next day, a channel broadcast the game Satisfy. This man is Kyungmin from Satisfy's Global News. Kyungmin said, we are currently at the Yaten Church in the north of Eternal Kingdom. Last night it collapsed. During our investigations, we have unearthed a familiar name. The incident's protagonist was the 5th rank of the unified rankings. The Black Magician Yura. Looking at the state the temple is in, we believe that an incredible battle took place over here. Well then, let us listen to the sole witness of the incident. Witnesses said, I was being chased by monsters. Then I saw Yura was casting skills to a certain guy. But then something happened that surprised her. Yura shot some kind of ultimate attack, but that guy took it head on and was unscathed. Kyungmin questioned, was he a famous person? He should be a top ranker, only able to do that. Witnesses said, I was just staring at Yura, and died after getting crushed under a boulder. Kyungmin said, every user around the world wants to know just who could this user be. Grid wonders, am I famous now? Money carpet, what? Grid immediately make a call to Global News and told them the guy from the Yaten Temple was me. I am Grid. They questioned Grid, please tell us your level as well. Grid replied, I am level -3. Then the phone call immediately ended. Kyungmin said, lastly, we have some footage from the scene, so please take a look. Grid thought it's Duran. Did he successfully rescue Irene? But he does not look good. Duran, so you end up dying although he was an NPC. He was a good guy with a really good magic ring. TV continues broadcast hot topic issue. Then they invited cats, a level 203 warrior. Grid thought if it's Cats, is he the one famous for being a jerk? They say that he's the son of a big corporation's CEO. The way he talks is annoying. From conversation, Grid also curious how Cats increased to 53rd place and level increased by 30 within 3 months. Grid took about years to get to level 70. Cats said wait, if this is a Korean channel. The Korean rankings first place goes to Yura. Right. Listen up Yura, your era ends now. The one to rank first in the unified rankings will be me, and I will trample on your pride. It's all thanks to this sword, see for yourself if I am bullshitting or not. This is my passive skill, any weapon I hold will transform into this shape and I can absorb a certain amount of health in proportion to my attack power. The more I attack, the faster I heal, and my hunting speed increases tremendously. The broadcaster questioned, but I've never heard of a skill like this. Cats replied, of course, you have not, it's a power I gained 3 months ago. Blood Warrior, it's my one and only epic class. Grid thought another hidden class, and to think that with a single class skill, he increased his level by that much. I also want to use Pagma's Descended properly. Soon, system alerted you have entered Barren Town. Grid wonders I did not spawn at the temple because I am enemies with the Yaten Church now. There are a lot of user looking for party member who level 100 and above. Grid thought a level -3 like me will be left to die of starvation in town. So he decided head over to an appropriate town first. But the money he have right unable to pay for transport either. Finally, Grid remembered that he is a Pagma's descendant. Grid pondered, if I make items, I can make money and level up at the same time. First off, Master Blacksmith's technique, it says the attributes of all items are increased by 10% when Grid make items. His stats and reputation increase as well. Grid find out he is starting off having mastered the master level skill and with level 1 in the legendary skill. The best is the creation skill that allows him to create a production method himself. Grid thought since the epic class was that great as the legendary class should be even better. System alerted legendary blacksmith's creation skill activated. What kind of item will you create? And followed by what materials would you like to use after Grid answered to create a great sword. Grid answered blue or a calcum I heard earlier. System alerted after designing the item. Please describe its characteristics. Grid said let's make it cool and big and strong just like a shark. Attack power above 10 million every time I swing it. Meteors fall. Make it ignore all defenses so that it can one-hit kill. System alerted automatic corrections commencing making adjustments after synthesizing the characteristics options and materials. Grid wonders it is changing things on its own. I might have made it too absurd. Why are there so many numbers and screens everywhere? Suddenly, Grid confused why he can understand all that info. This is a new blueprint though. Is it a class effect? This feel like he is a real blacksmith. Grid seeing the stats of durability of 1090 with an attack power of 1820. Defense of 80 plus agility 50. Grid thought this is incredible. The characteristics that I babbled on were adjusted, but there's plenty of extra option. Amazing. Now I have to get blue or a calcum ores from the party that's going for the forest. Then he noticed user restriction level 300 or higher. 5000 strength or more, advanced sword mastery level 8 or higher. But the first ranked user right now is only at 250. Grid thought you won't get 5000 strengths even by pouring all your stat points into strength. And the current top blacksmith only has intermediate level skills. To reach advanced sword level 8, I just made crap with a super rare skill. A shark-shaped big and powerful piece of shit. It's not like I can't use it, I am not affected by the restrictions. Even my current equipment is the same situation. Even if there's the penalties for not meeting the requirements, this great sword will still be overpowered. If I manage to make it, good, I can see the tunnels and I have to enter the guardian of the forest party no matter what and dine and dash. Soon, Grid went to the one who finding party member, but immediately being rejected by the man. The man said this is a level 190 minimum party and looking at you equipment. You should be around level 60. Grid said, although I look like this, I am at level 100. My equipment does not matter much because I have good control. The man replied, what are you saying, that we rely on our items too much? Regis said, everybody enough, since our guild is in charge of the boss mob, we can leave him in charge of another job. Someone said, wow, it's Regis from the Zedeca guild. The first place in the martial artist rankings, his nickname is Taekwon Master. The equipment items requirements are so severe that raising the level is difficult. Yet he's already at level 180. Grid thought, a top ranker with good looking, the world truly is unfair. The man said, Mr. Regis, even if you like someone, there should be limits. You can't just accept an unidentified user. Regis said, but is not having a lot of party members good for cleaning up the surroundings? Grid replied, of course, I can do that. Grid thought, although I don't like his appearance, he's a good guy. The man said, I understand your point, but I wonder if we could convince everyone. Regis said, well then let's have a 1 versus match to test his abilities, as long as we can prove his control skills. It won't be a problem, right? Grid thought, I am bad. Regis questioned, shall we get started? Grid said I should go train my left foot's control today, and left. Grid thought it did not go well, let's earn money for the carriage trip first. System alerted, please name the newly designed item. Grid thought creation has a limited number of slots, so I should use it only when I absolutely need a custom-made item. From now on I will earn money for the route and study a bit about creating items. Grid decided named it failure, as this is just the beginning. Afterward, Grid went to Smith's smithy. He requested for the blueprint for an item that sells well. The shop owner replied, you ignorant little lump of blood, are you looking down on blacksmiths? Kids these days don't even know the basics and just want to gain money. Grid failed once again and said, I am not very good. This was my only way to earn money for the trip. Am I going to die in this town just like this? The shop owner came out and said, I can't even tell you to actually go and die. Don't disturb our neighborhood by crying against my wall, just go and chop me some firewood. System alerted, chop firewood, chop 500 pieces of firewood, clear rewards plus 10 express and 20 bronze. Grid remembered that within this game, you can even potentially fail at chopping wood properly. Grid wonders, will item appraisal be of help? After appraise, system alerted, your understanding of old axe is at 100%, you have learned how to make an old axe. Grid thought 100% on the first try, but theoretical knowledge is different from actual practice. Am I supposed to hit there? As Grid successfully done in one hit, he realized if he reached 100% understanding for a legendary item, then he would soon become successful. 2 hours later, Grid thought, this crappy level 3 stamina, I've only managed to do 150 of them, I will squeeze out my energy to the last drop. I can't procrastinate if I want to escape from this town, hang on a little more, just one more. System alerted, persistence stat has been opened, you do not get tired easily. The user's equipment weight limit has increased, the feeling of satiation's duration has increased, every time 10 points are added to the persistence stat. The indomitable stat point increases by 1. Afterward, shop owner was surprised that Grid chopped 1,000 of them within 6 hours. Grid said, it was a piece of cake, despite my appearance I am a blacksmith. The owner said, how funny, how can that puny body be a blacksmith's? However, if you succeed in this, I will believe you. System alerted, mine iron ore quest. Grid thought 55 experience points will get me back to level 0. Soon, Grid wonders to think that I took 3 hours for a 30-minute march, I am out of energy just from moving. Since I am just a minus level wearing level 70 equipment, it's no wonder my movement speed is slow, I want to take it off right now. Grid said, excuse me, I am here to mine for iron ores for Mr. Smith. The man said, we are a bit too busy to adjust the quantity right now, for now don't disturb us, go to that corner and imitate us. Smith sent us a guy like him even though we are too busy to be teaching someone else. As Grid start to mine, they shocked. Grid thought, my body feels like it's about to break but my mind is clear. He was not wrong, but even pointless persistence. Other miners start discussing how great Grid was. System alerted, you have gathered 170 iron ore. Grid achieved level 1. You are now level 1. Your stats that were fixed to a minimum due to the minus level penalty have been restored to their normal states. The basic stats of Pagma's descendant have been applied. Grid thought a normal level 1's total stat point should be only 22, but Pagma's descendants is 165. If I count the persistence that was created earlier and the additional point in Indomitable, it's 182. Wait, 40 stats points? They are supposed to give out 10 points per level, so why do I have 40? There were 4 levels from -3 to 1, this is amazing. Soon, Mr. Smith said to think that I treated such an outstanding person so harshly, how embarrassing. System alerted your affinity with Smith has increased by 60, your reputation within Barren Town has increased by 200. Mr. Smith hugged on Grid's arm and said, "Come on, don't be mad, we are both blacksmiths." Grid replied, "Please recommend some items that sell well. Like I said last time, I need the money for my carriage fare." Mr. Smith said, "I prepared just the thing for you. Jaffa arrows. These should be good enough as your first item. Its effect is that it ignores some of the enemy's defense. This is indispensable for raids against powerful golems such as the Guardian of the Forest." Grid appraised it. System alerted your understanding of the Jaffa arrow is at 89%, you are able to use the Jaffa arrow skillfully. Grid wonders, if I increase my understanding by disassembling it, will I get to learn the production method? Mr. Smith said, "I will trot you about the production method, so follow me." Grid watched the blacksmith's action carefully. Although Satisfy is a realistic game, acquiring knowledge is quite easy. Grid thought, moreover, for me, I have something called the class compensation effect. Are these signs for the direction and strength of the bellows? It has not even been 5 minutes, but I managed to heat up the furnace. System alerted Pagma's descent and is sensitive to the temperature. You are precisely measuring the blast furnace's temperature. Grid thought, incredible, I get a notification window with the detailed temperature on display. This is certainly going to be a success. System alerted, quest cleared, you have gained 80 experience points, your affinity with Smith has increased by 30, you have gained 3 Jaffa ingots. Suddenly, Mr. Smith said, "You are amazing, and so sexy, even though you did not have any experience with smelting. Unbelievable. You can't simply be called talented anymore, it's just like Pagma was reborn." Grid thought, not exactly a reincarnation, but a descendant. System alerted you gained 1 level, you are currently level 2. Soon, with Mr. Smith guiding. System alerted you are learning the Jaffa arrow production method, your understanding of the Jaffa arrow has reached 100%. Mr. Smith thought, as I thought, he is no ordinary boy, the way he handles the molten metal is masterclass. Then he said, "Oh, I did not teach you how to make the arrow shafts." Grid said, "It's fine, I will make it myself." Grid thought, because my understanding is at 100%, the shaft production method was added. All I did was watch, but it still increased my understanding. Although the list is short right now, the day will come when it will be filled to the brim. This much is doable myself. Straighten out the twisted parts, and after cutting it uniformly, make the fletching using feathers and glue. The efficiency is astonishing due to my dexterity stat and class compensation effect. Mr. Smith questioned, "What are you doing? Why are you quenching the arrowhead? If you do that, although it will get harder, it won't be as durable." Grid said, "Don't worry, I plan on tempering the arrowheads. If I make it even a bit better, I can sell it for a higher price." Grid thought, how intriguing indeed. My occupation to this day has been about doing hard labor, so I never expected I'd have so much fun working like this. Grid said, "I finished making the arrow, now the quest should be clear." System alerted legendary Blacksmith's breath has activated. Grid questioned, "What's going on?" System alerted special Jaffa arrow epic. Grid thought, leaving the level up aside its epic grade. Mr. Smith said, "This is magnificent to think that a boy who is not an apprentice like you made a perfect arrow, or not you impressed as well." Grid cried and thought, this should have been a sword, I got an epic grade. Still, amongst the existing arrows, there are none that exceed 40 in attack power, moreover there's the extra option to completely ignore the enemy's defense. My class's effect is amazing. At this stage, this must be better than most level 21 handed weapons out there. Soon, Mr. Smith said, "What a pity, can't you stay for a bit longer?" Grid replied, "We will meet again, if destiny allows it, so don't worry." I can't keep these amazing weapons, take them with you. System alerted you have gained 100 Yafa arrows and 3 Yafa ingots. Grid thought, is it because of our high affinity? He gave out a lot. Grid said, I've been in your care, Mr. Smith. Thank you. Mr. Smith said it would be nice if we could live together. Grid replied, please don't say such disturbing words and wonders, although the presents are nice. The weights slow me down, it's gonna take a while to reach the town. In any case, as long as I sell the arrows, I can leave this place. Wait for me, users. I Grid am bringing you guys some amazing things. Meanwhile, location guardian of the forest raid scene. Jashuka from Zadaka Guild Guildmaster said, those morons, even though I warned them. You wanna live? Get moving already, Zadaka Guild. Regis, Tobin, Vantner, Jashuka said everyone died except for a few. Even though we managed to capture the boss, they all fell to small fries. The damage is too great, even so we somehow managed to finish it. And up they got 30 black iron ores, 7 orichalcum ores and 1 blue orichalcum ore. This is everything. Regis said the amethyst shield that has the worst drop rate did not appear again. Vantner said, but at least we got a blue orichalcum. We fought for an entire day and only made losses. Jashuka questioned Tobin how many died. Tobin replied, including the guild members, make 75. While the main force was dealing with the boss, the golems multiplied, which was detrimental to us. Jashuka thought the difficulty of this S-grade linked quest is harder than we expected. We need to take some measures. Soon, location Barren Village. Jashuka said the 4th raid yielded no results again. And the value of the Guardian of the Forest is falling amongst the users. At this rate, the quality of the users for future raids will considerably drop. Zadaka Guild. This guild is composed solely of high rankers as its guild members. But because of its small size, their fame is also small compared to their rankings. Before the launch of Satisfy, during the era of LTS, the members were these 17. Due to their small numbers, they always perform raids with other ordinary users. But even that method has its limits. For reader understanding, LTS was a famous MMORPG game that was popular before the launch of Satisfy. Tobin said, without the amethyst shield we can't continue the linked quest. Let's put aside the raid for now and increase our strengths. Regis said, and Vantner agreed. Jashuka announced the Zadaka Guild will focus on individually leveling up and enhancing our equipment. In 3 months' time, those who don't gain 15 levels will die. Regis, you need a minimum of 20 levels. Jashuka went to auction house to find Yafa arrows. She wonders our guild situation truly is not good. We used to attract attention in the beginning of the game, but now they won't even bat an eye. Let's just buy some arrow supplies. Then she noticed, what's with this moron? He's selling them at triple the price of a normal 6 silver per arrow deal. She noticed they are epic great. She thought, impossible, I've asked almost every blacksmith to make me some arrows. But no, actually I'd never even heard of a high-grade arrow before. Moreover, this cheat-like performance, it can be a decisive weapon during a high-level battle. First I will have to bid for this. But who in the world made these? If it's not the top 2 blacksmith rankers Panmar and Stang. Does that mean there's a blacksmith who has surpassed their level? Meanwhile, Regis questioned, just how can I level up 20 times within 3 months? Vantner said, think this through seriously. When she said she'd kill us, I am sure she was serious. I will at least pay for your last meal. Suddenly, they received Jashuka announcement. Find users in the top 100 blacksmith rankings whose player level is lower than the skill level. Regis said, but she was telling us to level up earlier. Is not our guild master a bit too whimsy? Next moment he calmed down after he saw the notice from Jashuka. Go ahead, mock me, I will kill you. Jashuka announced that user has the skill to successfully lead us to victory against the Guardian of the Forest. Jashuka thought our small team of elites managed to rank in the top 3 of each class rankings within half a year. Because of that pride, we don't accept new guild members. Although we are not famous or influencing like those other large guilds. Our strength is recognized by everyone and we have authority in our hands. That is us, the Zodaka Guild. If he's better than Panmar and Stang, it must be because his items far surpass the original ones. All the guilds around the continent will be in chaos as they search for this user. We need to find and meet him first. Meanwhile, Panmar the first place in the blacksmith rankings. He wonders, made by a master craftsman with great skills and potential but lacking in experience and reputation. They say, even I don't get called a master craftsman in the descriptions. Although it happened twice only, I was the first person to craft an epic great item. I was proud of putting in more effort than anyone else. But just who is this person? Back to Grid, he wonders when will the labor office open. Soon, labor office staff said building's construction site is looking for 4 workers. Grid wished to do it, but an old man took it. The staff continue electric pulling work for 1 person. No one want it. Grid thought I tried it last year and the cost for medicine afterwards was greater than the income. But a man lifted his hand. Next day, Grid's mother questioned, where are you going this early in the morning? Grid said to the labor office, I am late right now. Grid's dad said, we will give you money for your daily wage, so take a break today. Grid said the daily wage is at least 90k1 these days. Say he said be thankful he gave you that and use this. I've prepared the bath, so go relax a bit. Grid thought, now that I think about it, he normally leaves early in the morning to go to work at the vegetable store. Did he wait for me just to have a meal with me? Everyone, I have such a wonderful family. Grid said, then father, please pay back my debt. Next second, bang. Afterward, Grid entered the game. He wonders, it's nice resting a bit and playing the game, but after paying back my debt, my account savings are at 0. I am not motivated. How high did the arrow price go? I quickly have to go to another village. Then he wonders, what's this? Even if they are epic great, how did it get compared to the normal 6 silvers? 99x silvers that make 71 golds and 28 silvers. Since 100 golds is 120,000 won. I gained about 80,000 won in 6 hours. I won't have to go to the labor office from now on. Grid immediately told auction house, give me my money. The staff said, here's your 60 golds and 59 silvers, as epic great items have a commission of 15%. Grid thought, but if I can make money just by crafting items, there's no reason to leave this place, right? Nah, it's too dangerous here. Let's flee. Grid told coachman the fees was 8 golds and 90 silvers, it's too expensive. Coachman replied, be thankful that I reduced it for you. Do you think driving a carriage is easy? Grid questioned, did you say that beginner's village is called Winston? Coachman replied, right. They say that it will change into a city because of its high population apparently. The heir to the Stein family will become the new city lord. Grid wonders, Stein? That's a familiar. Soon. Grid said, let's start over properly now. Starting off by sorting out my inventory. The weight is slowing me down too much. Let's leave everything I can in the warehouse. Is this all I have? Right. Maybe I should appraise the Mangle armor and Mammon greatsword as well. If my understanding increases, the penalty should drop as well. System alerted, understanding greatsword has reached 33% and plate armor has reached 65%. System alerted due to the increase in understanding. The penalties have been adjusted. Greatsword attack power reduction adjusted from 30 to 20% and defensive armor from 20 to 8%. Grid wonder, since the durability has fallen a bit, I could repair the item to increase my understanding. But right now I need to save money. Grid thought, since I will need energy to craft things, let's store the equipment for now. Afterward, Grid decided to just hold on to the epic great arrow he kept as a souvenir. Grid thought, looking at their equipment, this area seems to be for beginners. And over here there's a diversity of equipment levels. Is it an area for all levels? I guess the smithy would be over there. Soon, Grid went to find Blacksmith in the town. He wonders, due to the skill master Blacksmith's technique, they will treat him favorably. When he opened up the door, he find out it's empty. The blacksmith questioned, "Who are you?" Grid said, "I want to craft the best-selling item here, can you help me?" Blacksmith replied, "The Marrow Company is selling items in bulk at a lower price. Due to that, the items here have not sold well for a long time now. This smithy closed down long ago." Suddenly, a group of warrior came in and said, "Old man, you still have not made your decision? I told you to hand over the building to us while we are still being nice." Grid thought this is not annoying but straight up troublesome. The warrior said, "Sign this contract," and hands over the building. Grid thought, a contract? Is not the famous Marrow Company. Not sure what's happening, but let's sneak out before things get complicated. The warrior glared on Grid and said, "You saw the contract, right? Where are you going? You bastard, are you a spy from the Shoner Company?" Grid thought he's a gangster hired by the Marrow Company. Outlaw NPC kill users sometimes. These dudes look to be around level 35, let's not fight back and act accordingly. Grid replied, "It's not that, since I am new to Winston, I did not know this smithy was closed." The warrior replied, "Right, I can see that in your appearance, get lost now." The blacksmith said, "You criminals, you're about to end a 7-generation-long family business." Another guy said, "Either way, did not your only son die from a disease? Stop being stubborn. Or is it that this place is his grave?" Grid thought, "Stack cool, you are not some hero, just leave this as none of my business." But will that old man be alright? System alerted, quest Blacksmith's Rage has been created. Get rid of the Marrow Company's minions and destroy the smithy transfer contract. Clear rewards, Khan's alcoholism will improve max affinity with Khan. Quest acceptance reward, skill Blacksmith's Rage will be created. Quest failure, a few days later, Khan will die and all quests related to him will disappear. Grid thought, the reward is a class skill, I obviously have to do this. What are my odds? First, there's the reliable skill Legendary Blacksmith's Patience, and the skill that gives me 5 seconds of invulnerability when my health touches rock bottom, and I also have the stats of a level 20. The problem is that I left all my equipment in the warehouse, so I have no weapon. Wait, I have one, and it's epic great. Even though its attack power is low, as long as completely ignoring the enemy's defense activates, I have a chance. Grid said, "You really don't hold back on your words against the elderly. Even if you are debt collectors, there's a limit to things, you bastards." A warrior laughed and said, "What are you gonna do with a single arrow?" Grid replied, "This is not all I have, I just gained another weapon." Enough talk, let's fight. Grid dodged the slash attack and wonders, since when low-level warriors were this fast, I need to gain the advantage. Great, the narrow stairs. When another warrior chases up an attack with axe, Grid activated the Blacksmith's Rage and launched a critical attack. Grid said, "Does this look like a simple arrow to you guys? Your eyes must be for decoration." Grid thought, amazing, I landed 2 hits thanks to the increase in attack speed. Moreover, ignored defense was activated and it was a critical hit, killing him with 2 hits. System alerted, you killed an outlaw from Winston, your reputation in Winston has increased by 60, you are now an enemy to all the outlaws of Winston, you have gained 4,300 express. Level up x5. You are currently level 8, Grid wonders, plus 5 levels to a level 8 for killing a level 35. My stat points are at 110 now, these guys have high attack power but low defense, to defeat the remaining ones, I need to invest points in strength and agility. Since there's still 4 of them left, I will use them all. Grid invested 50 in strength and 60 in agility. Grid gather his power and kill another one using the rest of the time with Blacksmith's Rage. The warrior said, "I won't die from this, looks like he was lucky earlier." The leader of warriors said, "But his attacks are fast, and we can't fight on those narrow stairs using large weapons." Grid thought he did not die even after increasing my stats. This time the option did not activate, nor did I get a critical hit. The leader warned Grid, "If you don't want to live up there forever, then get down." Grid thought, I have no choice, it's a head-on fight now. If they surround me, I won't last 2 to 3 hits, but I still have a backup plan. My health is low and my defense is close to 0, but if they surround me I can kill them all at once. All I need is the health to last until then, so what I need is Legendary Blacksmith's Patience. While Grid activated, system showed this skill cannot be used intentionally. Failed to activate. Grid dodged the axe attack and wonders a big failure. The skill I was counting on had an activation condition. Grid thought my max health is at 316. Why do I have to drink an intermediate potion that heals 1500 health? 20 seconds until I can use the next one. If I don't keep up, I will die. Soon, system alerted you have received 200 damage. Grid again consumed strength potion and agility potion, which increased by 50 for 5 minutes. Grid thought 10 golds for a bottle, around 24,001. I just wasted the money for a big meal on a B-grade quest. But still it is hard for Grid to dodge all of their attacks together. Grid wonders I need the time to recover my leg at least. From following conversation, Grid talked with them to buy some time for potions cooldown time over. When Grid's leg recovers, he immediately sudden attack towards and kill one of them. Again, level up x3. Grid thought, I am level 11 now, I am different from earlier. However, when his attack stabbed one of their men, the man said, you can stab me more if you want. So, Grid was slash attacked by another two. They quickly held Grid, not letting him run around this time. Grid thought, I will really die this time. It's over now. Then he noticed upstairs there was an armor. Grid launched an arrow, stabbing the man and threw it to the leader. Grid immediately ran towards the armor. He questioned Khan, do you want to protect it, the smithy? Khan replied, yes, if you help me this time, I will definitely protect this place. Grid said, then I will borrow it for a bit. Khan reminded him, that's not something anyone can equip, anything you could wear is on this floor. The remaining enemies came upstairs and decided to finish Grid with a final blow. Grid questioned, have you ever heard of the word overgeared? He then launched a single blow, killing 3 of them in one strike. System alerted your reputation in Winston has increased by 220. Level up x10. Meanwhile, Khan came upstairs and questioned what happened, are you alright? Grid said, old man, this is amazing, why did you hide items like these in a dusty corner? Armor Valhalla, rating unique, user restrictions level 250. Gains life, reproduction rating, unique level 250. Khan questioned, young man, did you perhaps recognize those items' values, you even learned the creator's name? Grid said, I can learn just by looking. Khan fainted. Grid wonders, does he have high blood pressure? Well, he was an alcoholic. That's why you should be careful when you are old. Since I've cleared the quest, one should stop being so noisy, let's move on to the next quest. Grid thought the linked quests, so he immediately yelled, old man, wake up, don't start foaming, give me the next quest before fading. Soon, Marrow Company knew that the gangsters sent to the smithy went missing. The head of the company questioned his assistant, what happened? Rabbit is the name of this guy. Rabbit said, I don't know, we are certain they reached the smithy, but they went missing afterwards. Head of Marrow Company said, we need to take over every single smithy in the village, because we could not deal with that one, the old man Khan. Rabbit replied, 2 hours ago, an unfamiliar young man carried him to the clinic. Head of Marrow Company said, we imported and sold those cheap weapons and made a contract just to get that smithy. We finally have him on the ropes, we can't miss this chance, you are in charge of this, deal with it. Back to Grid, he wonders, I got to level 21 for killing a few gangsters, is not my luck amazing these days, there's even the possibility of receiving linked quests. If I get that armor and sword as a reward, I could become a billionaire. Dane's Life and Valhalla are both unique grade just like Failure, but unlike Failure, they can be traded and the user requirements are standard. Soon, Grid went back to the game and visited Khan. Khan questioned, did you say you were Grid? Looks like I owe a lot to you. Grid said, we should help others in difficulty, you just need to pay the fee and get discharged now. Khan replied, sorry to say this, but actually I am penniless right now. Doctor said, since God's anger would create chaos, you should pay 1 gold for the fee. Afterward, Khan thanks Grid and said, I really wish I could do something for you. Grid then pointed on those armor and said, give me these. Khan replied, wait, listen to me, I can't give you, these are family heirlooms that have been protected with our lives, please understand. Dane's life and Valhalla are unlucky items, since there was no one to wield their incredible powers. They have been abandoned here for hundreds of years. But 130 years ago, a single person recognized their worth. That person was Pagma. Pagma wore these items and displayed his astonishing swordsmanship, becoming one with the battle gears. With his powerful but beautiful momentum, they say his swordsmanship pierced the sky and summoned lightning. My ancestor Albertino knelt to him and requested him to take Dane's life and Valhalla with him. Grid questioned, so did Pagma agree? Khan said no, he refused, but he said that one day these items' rightful owner would appear and you managed to equip these. How did you do it? I shall make my decision after hearing your answer. Grid thought, is the linked quest finally here? I can't lose this to anyone else. Grid said, well, if I had to say, I am similar to Pagma. Khan questioned, no way, does that mean you are Pagma's descendant? Grid replied, well, yes, system alerted class quest Pagma's descendant has been created. Follow Pagma's swordsmanship and collect all the legends Abuti Pagma. There is no time limit. If you accept the legendary class quest, you cannot change your class again. Class quest clear conditions, complete all linked quests, reward unknown. First class quest Pagma's swordsmanship. Clear condition, learn Pagma's swordsmanship. First class quest clear, reward Dane's left reproduction. Grid questioned, you won't give them right now? Khan said, I need proof, so please understand. Khan thought, am I meeting the legend's descendant just like how my ancestor met the legend? Khan said, if you truly are Pagma's descendant, you will get to prove it one day. Let's have a toast to our encounter. Grid took over his alcohol and said, these are prohibited until I clear the quest. Suddenly, Rabbit questioned, is Khan here? I come from the Marrow Company. Grid questioned, Marrow Company, did you come here to replace the gangster? Khan said, let's head down and talk. Rabbit said, I was told that you are unable to pay the debt of 600 golds. Khan replied, it's the truth, however I cannot give you the smithy, go back home. Rabbit said, actually today I am here to give you a chance. If you hand over the smithy, we guarantee you a high salary and the operating rights to it. These terms are incomparable to before, will you refuse? Khan replied, this affair is not about my job, it's about protecting my ancestor's smithy. Rabbit said, your pride is just as the rumors say, then if we shadow that pride of yours, will you be convinced? Let us have a competition putting the debt and the rights on the line, our blacksmith against you. If a blacksmith more qualified than you wins, you hand over the smithy, how about it? Grid thought, it looks like a good condition, but I am sure they will send out a craftsman far more skilled than Khan. Does he think we are idiots? Khan said, if that happens, then I will be convinced, however since I have become rusty from resting for too long I will send out my successor, do you agree? Here he is, my successor. Grid said, what are you talking about, old man, who are you to decide? Rabbit said, I can see that he's just a passerby, are you really fine with that? System alerted clear condition, win the competition against the Marrow Company. Rewards reputation within Winston plus 500 increase in affinity with the Winston residents. Prize of 600 golds. Failure, reputation within Winston will fall to a minimum. The Khan smithy will be handed over to the Marrow Company. Rabbit reminds, if you are not related, stay out of this, don't get carried away. Grid thought, you are on, I will trample on everyone. Khan said, I am sorry about this, I had to protect my smithy. Grid replied, no, don't worry about it. Grid thought, since I would gladly sell my soul for 1001. It's an A grade item production competition with the Marrow Company quest. If it were a combat related quest, it would be impossible for a level 21 like me. But I am a legendary blacksmith who even crafted an epic grade item, it won't be a problem. Khan said, I have some materials remaining since the shop was closed, we can train with ease. Grid questioned, by the way, why did not you report these events to the Lord? Khan replied, the Lord is part of it all. He's being bribed by the Marrow Company. Grid questioned, is not Winston part of Earlstime's territory? Did you try looking for the Earl yourself? Khan said, I made an appeal and even went looking for him myself. But the Lord intervened each time and I was unsuccessful. Grid said, don't worry too much, I will win this competition. You even left me in charge since you trusted me. Khan said, of course I do, thanks for cheering me up. If my son were alive, he would have been an upstanding man like you. Grid said, don't cry and come on over, your worries will disappear if you see me with the bellows. Grid thought, why am I being kind unlike my usually? Well, since Khan is my lucky goldmine, I must have unconsciously right. But old man Khan reminds me of my grandfather, his gentle words and attitude are very similar. Fighting with fire and steel alongside someone I am fond of, moments like these make satisfy feel like reality. The next day, location Marrow Company. Volman, the head of the Marrow Company, mad and questioned Rabbit. Why you do such an unnecessary thing? It was a smithy that would be ours as long as he could not pay the debt. Why did you make an unnecessary arrangement and give him a chance? Did you secretly make a deal with Khan? Rabbit replied, currently, the business district is doing badly because the Marrow Company took the residents' properties. Considering the Marrow Company's long-term business, it is best to be friendly with the residents. Volman said, are you trying to teach me a lesson? I am the one who bought those shitty lands and those rights. Those ungrateful bastards. Rabbit thought, this is Volman's limit, it will be harder for the Marrow Company to grow any further. Rabbit said, the residents greatly respect Khan, who has been resisting alone against the company. We must create the impression that we are giving him and his skills another chance. That way, we will be able to improve the company's image. Volman replied, and the company will be able to attract loyal customers. If this brings profit, it would not be so bad. What about our opponent, could he win? Rabbit said, according to our investigations, he is just an ordinary young man with no reputation. We have already prepared a craftsman who will definitely win this for us. Volman said, then it's perfect, we will completely destroy them. Rabbit thought, even if you are a nameless person, we will send out our best blacksmith to face you. This kind of unknown variable is what I am most wary of. Meanwhile, an old man questioned Khan, really? That bony boy erased Vale and his men. He just looks like an innocent young lamb to me. Khan replied, unlike his appearance, he's one amazing guy. Grid yelled, keep it down, will you? Suddenly, someone opened up door and questioned, there's this notice everywhere in town, is it true? Khan replied, it's the truth, why the fuss? The man said, well, we were thinking that the company is better than we thought. Grid thought, indeed, although they sent us gangsters, I can feel a lot of thoughtfulness from this notice, they might actually be a nice comp. Khan teared off the notice and said, the Marrow Company monopolized the lands and the business districts and got us into poverty. Did you seriously forget the misery we went through just because of a measly piece of paper? A man questioned, according to what I've heard, the Marrow Company bought the lands and commercial areas from the residents, who were not aware of the Winston development plan. Did they force you to sell them? Grid aware he has a green mark on his head, so he's a user. This man named Roy, he continue after exchanging the lands with money. You planned on leaving the village, but later on decided to remain because of the development plans. This situation is because of your self-interest, and not the Marrow Company's fault. The residents of Winston questioned, an outsider dares to talk like that? Are you the company spy? Roy said, I am not here to fight. The company's first priority is obviously profiting, as long as you admit that fact. You can create a symbiotic relation with the company. After all, the company can't persist without the residents. Grid thought the conversation's flow changed. Khan said, you are right. It is better to have a symbiotic relationship with the large company in the long run. However, Winston Village is part of Earlsteim's territory. There is a local statute called Rights of the People in the Steim Earldom. The residents have the right to be informed about their area of residence faster than anyone else. Earlsteim imposed this rights of the people himself. Due to the pioneering age in the north, their new lands have a large impact on the nearby cities and villages. Prepare for change and share information with the residents that would maximize their profits, that is Earlsteim's will. Roy replied, so the problem is that the company ignored the Earl's will and the Lord must be responsible for allowing the company to monopolize the information about the development plans. Khan said, indeed, that is the reason behind this conflict. Roy said, you have convinced me, it appears that there is something I must do. I have heard that the appeals you have made to the Earl have been blocked by the Lord and the company. The Lord and the company's evil deeds must be revealed. I, Roy, will secretly deliver your pleas to the Earl. Grid thought impossible, this guy, how did he just do that? He did not receive a quest, but made them give him a quest. Soon, Grid followed Roy and said, I am sure you had received a quest from the Merrill Company in the beginning, so why did you change sides? Roy shared quest information. Grid seeing the info and wonders what's with these incredible rewards. Roy said, you noticed that I made them give it to me. It's a method that uses the degree of freedom and satisfy. If you actively meddle and intervene with the NPC's circumstances, you can get a related quest. It's a method that only the early users know about, so you probably did not. When Grid said, I am also an early user. Roy laughed on Grid. Grid felt embarrassed and logged out. Roy thought, let's hurry up, I should not be wasting time here. My level is only at 127 even though I've been playing 18 hours per day. It's because my class is order, because my only way to attack is spiteful tongue, it's harder to level up compared to other classes. Extremely limited weapons, low health fighting power skills, and the most fatal weakness is having no escaping techniques. I need the courage stat that permanently increases attack power and defense. Every time it increases by 10 points. I can't become a ranker just through quests I get from talking. Soon, when Roy reached the castle, the guards ignored him. Rabbit said, they won't answer to your words, I have instructed them not to do so. The instructions told you to report to me after instigating the resident. Roy thought, how annoying, I need to borrow the power of the persuasion skill. As long as I use it correctly, I can control most NPCs as I wish. Persuasion passive skill activated. Roy said, I came here to plan my strategy of instigating the residents while taking a walk. Is not that the basics of creating a plan? Rabbit replied, it seems that I have overestimated you. You failed to create a commotion even though we had confused the residents with the notice, or could it be that this is a betrayal? Roy was surprised his persuasion did not work. Rabbit said, I've learned from experience to always prepare for a betrayal. I am sure you understand why I am arresting you. Roy thought, I can't get away with my battle power. Forced escape. Log out. System alerted you cannot end the game here. Rabbit said, stop your futile resistance. Don't you know that we can neutralize your logout spell? Since you will resurrect if we kill you, we are incarcerating you. Imprison him in the castle's dungeon. System alerted the quest has changed into wait. Clear conditions, do not log out for 50 hours in real time. Will you give up on this quest? Roy thought, what? 50 hours impossible. I've done 20 hours before, but if you go over that, the capsule system will forcibly log you out and you cannot connect again for 6 hours as a penalty. Staying in a small dungeon for 8 days and 8 hours game time. It will be mentally straining and potentially dangerous, but I am just a single man with no job, there's no one to interrupt me. If I convert the capsule into trance mode, my body just might hold on. I can't miss this opportunity to do an S-grade linked hidden quest. Let's do this. Capsule trance mode activated. From now on, your brainwaves will be to forcibly log you out when danger is detected. When your health is harmed, SA will dispatch executives with medical equipment to your location. It is impossible to shut down the capsule from the outside. If there are attempts to shut down the capsule, an SA employee will be dispatched to protect the capsule. Roy thought, I will be loyal to you for the rest of the game. I will be waiting for you. Apostle of Justice. The game satisfy. This is a huge system where every user's actions change the world. 2 billion users make 2 billion variables. Therefore, in order to sustain the world, errors or bugs cannot be permitted. Someone report Quest B has been activated. Please grant permission to dispatch emergency executives. Chulo said, permission granted. I will be there soon. Chulo thought, B, even though it's an S-grade hidden quest that activates on special conditions. The clear reward is a second class. If he succeeds, it will be the birth of the first user in Satisfy to have 2 classes. However, he needs to persist through 200 hours of game time. It's a quest that can potentially harm the user. In the meeting, Huroi details being revealed. Chulo said only 3% of the Mongolian population play the game. What an incredible phenomenon. Nahi said moreover, his class is order that has weak battle power, but he still managed to rise up to level 127 by using his class trait to clear quests only. Chulo said director Sangmin. What about the Mongolian branch manager? Sangmin said we are connected. Chulo said we have requested a conference due to the B quest. Has the user Alan Batar's safety been secured? Person in charge from there replied yes. And I also have a suggestion, to release the news to the media about the potential first user with multiple classes. If the first user with 2 classes is Mongolian, it will greatly help in boosting the market over here. From following conversation, someone of them worried, what if Huroi fails the quest? Sangmin said the quest was made to be easily, clearly by design, should be no problem. When Nahi show the probability of success at only 9%. As the user will meet the mysterious Apostle of Justice in the underground prison, and this Apostle of Justice will rescue the user after listening about the situation in Winston. Afterwards, the user will get a linked quest to help the Apostle and receive a big reward. As long as the user's safety is secured, can't most users clear this quest? Chulo laughed and said, look at the documents, it seems like there was a variable. Share quest information. Huroi was supposed to share the information about the village to the Apostle of Justice only. However, he revealed the quest's information midway, which led to the Apostle of Justice becoming obsolete. And the user he shared it to his Grid. Meanwhile, Grid drunk and cried. He said, even though you only gave me a quest worth 600 golds, Kan, you shitty old man, you should have given that awesome quest to me first. You gave it to that crappy guy instead just because of a few words, even though I paid for your medical fees. A refill of fish cake soup please, with some free radishes please. Back to the meeting, the man questioned this user's probability of success. It should be 0% rather than 9%. The supercomputer Morpheus must have had an error. Nahi said no, there was no such report. Chulo said he's being like that because the scenario changed and the chances at success are unclear. Now the one who needs to learn of Huroi's incarceration is not the mysterious Apostle of Justice, but Grid. Sangmin said, damn, this Grid is absolutely the worst, he's still at level 21 even though he got a legendary class. What has he been doing all this time? It's a pity the legendary class went to a user with 0 productivity like him. Another hidden content will go to waste because of him. This guy, he's toxic. Fatally toxic to satisfy. Sangmin questioned, won't he actually fail the quest at this rate? We've missed the perfect chance to advertise the game. Chulo, though, the only things he's done after the legendary class is crafting epic great arrows and receiving a class quest. This indeed is hard to predict, but if I had to say something, this truly is entertaining to watch. His incompetence transcends common sense. Currently in Satisfy, there are 3 epic classes. Other than the most recently revealed Blood Warrior, the details on the other 2 have not been released yet. The very first epic class user is unidentified, while the second one was revealed to be held by the 7th place ranker. Because of that, the community and broadcasts have not stopped debating about what the other 2 epic classes were and who the very first epic class user was. Soon, locations time early DA. Makaro Dungeon. A few users keep approaching Euphemina to join their party. Euphemina replied, I will be joining the strongest users party, so please demonstrate your powers. A man cast Scorching Heatwave, while another cast 1 Point Break. Euphemina comment, everyone's pretty average. Then she noticed another skill seems powerful enough. She thought he must have had quite a hard time leveling up until now. It's perfect against Pierrot, let me use that as well. Skill Duplication. System alerted Swirling Frenzy level 3. Successfully duplicated. This skill is available for 1 use. You can keep it permanently until it is casted. Euphemina said, I'm counting on you for next time. Euphemina level 190 duplicator. Then they noticed Euphemina went off. Euphemina thought it's perfect. It should be enough with this skill. It took me 63 whole days to prepare for this S-grade quest. Traitor of the Red Knights. Defeat the target of Asmophel's vengeance PRO, who is hiding within the Kazan Canyon. Clear reward. Title Agent of Revenge. Creation of the Cruelty stat. Attack power plus 100. Creation of the skill, Murderous Impulse. Euphemina thought the enemy is an incredibly talented named NPC. He must be stronger than most boss monsters. System alerted the Eternal Hermit PRO has appeared. PRO questioned. Did Asmophel send you here? PRO first launched attack. Euphemina counter with Tartan. The strongest defensive skill only known by the first-ranked Guardian Knight. Bump. Euphemina wonders I only have 9 basic skills. But I can use skill duplicate 3 times a day. For 2 entire months. I have duplicated all kinds of skills used by top rankers. Thanks to that, I now have 50 highest grade skills in my skills list. Although I can only use them once, it's more than enough to clear this quest. I am the duplicator, the very first epic class user in Satisfy. Euphemina cast counter barrier to blocked PRO next attacks followed by Swirling Frenzy. Followed by another 5 attack spell. She thought did he die? But then she did not get a quest clear notification yet. PRO still alive. Euphemina cast Levitate and keep a distance to recover mana using a potion. But next second PRO's unscathed and said I shall give you an inevitable death. Euphemina thought no I have to survive no matter what. She cast Nightmare Projection. She thought it is an ultimate skill that traps the opponent in an illusion. I've been keeping it to use in an emergency. It's only for a short while. But he's going to be trapped in an illusion where he's fighting against Asmophel. I have to use this opportunity to replenish my mana and destroy him with more skills. System alerted warning. Due to the excessive use of skills, your physical abilities has fallen. You cannot use skills for a while. All stats have fallen by 50%. She thought even though I've almost cleared the quest. Still before PRO recovers. I have to kill him. Then she noticed PRO already recovered. So she has no choice but abandon the quest. System alerted your level has dropped by 2. Asmophel's trust in you has decreased. Euphemina thought 2 months' worth of effort just vanished into thin air. Even though it was a great opportunity to gain a new title. The title's effects would have been perfect for me as well. Suddenly, someone questioned her. Are you Miss Arena? I have a message for you. If you don't mind, we would like you to take on a task. System alerted a quest has been generated. Clear rewards 1500 golds. The title competitor. Fighting spirit stat will be opened. Luck stat will be opened. The skill rolling dice will be generated. She thought since he called me Arena. Amongst the many aliases that I have used until today, Arena is the one I use to craft an item. She replied you are from the Marrow Company. Right. I will do it. Back to Grid. Khan said stop sulking so much. Grid replied leave me be. You gave such a good quest to someone you had just met. Khan said since the company is monitoring the whole village. If you try to leave Winston you will be eliminated. But an outsider like Weroy will be able to avoid their suspicions successfully. I can't put my benefactor in such a dangerous situation. I would not be able to live on if something were to happen to you. Since I think of you as my son. Grid replied come on. No need to start crying again. Let's back to training. Did they decide on a date for the competition? Khan said it's in 2 days. Grid thought if I repeatedly use my skills, my proficiency increases. I can feel my movements getting more precise and efficient. System alerted you have crafted an epic great item. All stats plus 4 reputation across the continent plus 80. The persistence stats has increased. The dexterity stat has increased. Grid thought this feeling of improvement is absolutely exciting. Soon, Grid noticed even he crafted so many items. That's it. It's different compared to that time with the Yafa arrows. Grid thought, well, we can't do anything about it. We don't have any high-grade materials because of the Marrow Company. We could sell epic great items, but either way, regardless of my stats, I can feel my proficiency increasing. Moreover, I've gained an additional 130 stat points by crafting items. I obviously have to allocate them to dexterity if I want to win the game. But if I think about how I almost got killed by the gangsters, I should also consider my other stats. Right. And up. Grid allocated 60 in stamina and 80 in dexterity. System alerted due to the increase in stamina. Your health has increased from 936 to 1536. Grid thought these are not the stats of a level 21 user. They rival the stats of a level 75 user. Moreover, my stat points increase every time I craft a high-grade item. So that can cover for my lack of combat skills. I obviously need to do a lot of physical labor. But I'm already used to that. During tomorrow's battle, I shall show you the fruits of my labor. Soon. Winston's Central Square Competition Day. The square was crowded with local NPC residents and users. Volman questioned Rabbit. How are our preparations coming? Rabbit replied, everything is according to the plan. Judge announced, allow me to introduce the lead star of today's competition. The Mara Company's Arena. Grid thought, she's pretty, does not she rival the blood witch Yura's beauty? The cheering is amazing. But we have the local residents on our side. Then Grid noticed those residents seems fall in love to Arena. Arena said, Mr. Grid, since fate brought us together today, I will be in your care. Grid replied, you are not my type, so don't mess with me, kid. Arena replied, is not that rude to a beauty like me? Grid said, you do look pretty, but a little brat like you should not go around calling herself a beauty. Arena thought, what's with him? No man has ever treated me like this before. I will humiliate you in front of everyone. Arena said, who are you calling a kid? I am 20 years old. Grid replied, that does not mean anything to an old man like me. Judge said, today's competition's theme is a dagger. You have 3 hours to produce it. The one who creates the better dagger wins this game. Arena thought, if I win, I will gain a new title and stats, but the only thing that bothers me right now is the quest's difficulty. Unknown? Does that mean that my opponent's skills have not been disclosed yet? Whatever, it probably does not matter. My plan won't change. The moment he enters the crafting phase, I will duplicate his skill. If we use the same skills, the luckier person will create an item with a higher rating. Even though this is a gamble, I have a 50-50 chance of winning. Soon. She noticed Grid already started forging. Don't get nervous. Strictly speaking, there's no difference in skills. If so, then the one with a better toll will have more chances of winning. Blessed Blacksmith Hammer. Epic. Probability of making a rare item plus 15%, probability of making an epic item plus 5%. She thought, no matter how good of an item this is, if I don't have the right skill, it's useless. That's why I will just borrow your skill. Skill observation. Grid questioned, why are you staring at me like that? System alerted, you cannot analyze the target skill. The level of skill observation is too low. She thought, what? That's not possible. My skill observation is at level 7. I even managed to duplicate an advanced blacksmith skill when it was at level 5. Does this mean he's a master blacksmith? The top-ranking blacksmith is only at intermediate himself. There's no way my skill would fail. Could it be that he has an epic class? That can't be. On use. Cats and I are the only one to have an epic class. Then is he a user with a unique class? Whatever he is. I am finished if things don't change right now. Arena questioned Rabbit. That man has a mentor, right? Make him participate in this game. Rabbit questioned, excuse me? Are you asking to change the rules halfway through the game? Arena said, deal with that yourself. You said that we have to win this competition. Soon. Judge told Sir Khan, please come on stage. This is Miss Arena's request. She says that the mentor should participate with his disciple. Grid thought, she's looking down on me. Khan said, let us work together since she has requested so. I am thankful to her since it gives me the opportunity to work with you. A blacksmith I respect and gives me the chance to gloriously fight for my smithy. Grid replied, all right. Let's get her off of her high horse. Arena thought, perfect. You are the one I've been aiming for. Allow me to borrow some of your amazing techniques. System alerted, you have successfully duplicated the advanced blacksmith's craftsmanship level 2 skill. Arena thought, good. I've got the skill. As long as our skill levels are similar, it all comes down to luck. That won't change even if you're master ranked. This game is not over yet. System alerted Grid. The legendary blacksmith's patience skill has activated. Your health, defense and dexterity have increased by 200% for 1 hour. He thought, good. This is going well. Master Khan's concentration is incredible as well. Iron and fire, I can perfectly feel each and every swing. It's all perfect. Khan said, incredible, I am honored to be part of the creation of this masterpiece. Grid said, there's still something else left. It's the Minotaur horn we will use for the hilt. It costs 10 golds, you know. Suddenly, someone said the participant Arena's dagger has been completed. Its appearance is as marvelous as the creator. An amazing masterpiece has been produced in less than 3 hours. Grid thought, I don't want to admit it, but it's really remarkable. That kid was not bragging. She's really skilled. Judge said, now shall we display its characteristics? Even though its features are unbelievable, rating epic. Grid thought, don't be disturbed. Concentrate on your dagger and your dagger only. Khan said, that's amazing, she can rival me at her age, but it poses no problem to you, right Grid? Grid said, of course, I just finished crafting mine. I am worried that the audience might have a heart attack after seeing this. Suddenly, a few guards came in and told Grid, we have received information that you are with a terrorist Roy. Arrest him immediately. Khan thought, Volman, so he's the one behind this. That bastard, he knew he could not win and mobilized the guards. Grid said, why would I work with Roy, let me go. Rabbit thought, I've seen all sorts of items while working in the company for 20 years. But this is an incredible item that Arena's dagger can't rival, it's our loss. Volman said, we almost had the tables turned on us by one amazing guy. This is an astounding item. Rabbit questioned, so you realized it as well. Did you order the guards yourself? We will lose the public support if we announce a winner in this situation. Volman said, the audience will be more than convinced if Arena's dagger wins. Do you really think I will give up on that smithy? Take that dagger with us, we can't have its properties revealed. Rabbit thought, with those skills, it would not be far-fetched to call him the continent's greatest blacksmith. His name is Grid. Arena said, what's this amazing item? If we had finished the game, I'd have lost, right? However, the game ended with the audience's support on my side. I've accomplished the company's goal, so I will have to receive my reward. Arena thought everything else is good, but this one is not great, it's completely at random. But it's still better compared to that quest one failed last time. Arena said that man acted like he was wronged as he was taken away. Rabbit replied, what has already happened. For readers' information will be changed back Arena names to her original name. Euphemina thought he had the worst personality ever, but I did want to know of his true identity. Rabbit said he probably did not know he would face an ordinary civilian in a smithy contest either. Your basics were very crude, but you had the same movements as Khan? Do you have some sort of a copying skill? One day the Marrow Company will get prosecuted by Erlstein for its greed. That's why I'm thinking of leaving the company and giving another chance at success. Khan's smithy could create that opportunity. That's what I've learned from watching Grid and his skills. When his connections and resources become vast, he will rival small and medium-sized companies with just his crafting skills. Euphemina thought even the top merchant ranker Baga is just the owner of a small company. So Grid was that amazing of a man. Rabbit said, so here's a proposal. Will you help me rescue that man? System alerted Help Rabbit's job-seeking plan. Help Rabbit rescue Grid and cause the downfall of the Marrow Company and Winston's Lord. Clear rewards, 5,000 golds, max affinity with Rabbit and Winston's residence. Euphemina thought that Grid guy. As soon as I got involved with him, I got a title in an S-grade quest. She immediately replied, very well, I shall help you. Meanwhile the residents decide to take weapons and rescue who are OI and Grid. Suddenly, a resident was attacked by Arrow. Volman said, Sir Philipson, how does this look? Even the Lord must fear these rebels. Right. Philipson said, that is correct, we must subjugate them immediately. Volman said, just hand over the smithy and gear captured obediently. Even I want to end this and go to bed. Meanwhile, Huoro, I thought, how many days has it been? Someone please get me out. Someone said Haroy's electroencephalogram is too unstable. At this rate we can't guarantee his health. Park Yun-hyuk, Mongolian branch manager, said, but he has spent 48 hours in real time already. We now have to enter the stage of protecting and helping his efforts. Even the rescue probability must be below 9% now. Due to Grid arrest, he's closer to Huor-oi in the dungeons now, there's still hope. Yun-hyuk thought, even though this is a desperate moment, I believe that something is going to happen. He may be a low-level user with a redeemable greed, but his persistence is the real thing. He will surely do something. Grid. Yun-hyuk said, let's bet the remaining 2 hours on him. The guard questioned Grid, give us the name of the one who requested Huor-oi. If you don't answer my questions, you will be immediately executed. Grid replied, I don't care, kill me already if you are going to do it. In the end you are the one manipulating everything, just kill me, you ballless man. Grid thought, no matter what I do, it's best that I die. If I stay imprisoned and lose the competition, Khan might die from the grief of losing Smithy. But if this madman kills me, I will respawn and return to Khan's side, now kill me. Another guard said, calm down, Leo, you know that he has an immortal body. Take him to solitary confinement, he will tell us in no time. Grid thought, this is bad, if I get imprisoned, Khan will be in danger. Besides, if I stay in prison, I can't even play the game. I'll tell you guys everything, so takes off this gag, I am sorry Khan. End up Grid, being locked up. System alerted, the quest Apostle of Justice has been generated. Rescue Huor-oi within 7 hours, clear rewards, opens the courage stat, all stats plus 10. Generates the skill Unbreakable Justice. Grid thought, what, where have I seen this reward? It's from the quest Huor-oi revealed to me. But either way I got captured as well, I can't rescue him in 7 hours. There's even a penalty if I fail, what a crappy quest, I am not doing it. System alerted, you cannot refuse this quest, accepting the quest. 3 hours later, Grid wonders, I knew it, there was no way such luck and fortune would come to me for free, I've never found nor picked up a single cent for 26 years. I should have known the moment I gained the legendary class, I really want to punch the goddess of luck in the gut. Suddenly, he heard Euphemina looking for him. Grid knocked the door, alerted her. Euphemina said, you surprised me, anyways found you, I will get you out of there, so wait for a bit, before that, I will give this back, it's something you made with your painstaking effort. Grid thought, that's the dagger I met, now that I see her again she's such a kind and gorgeous girl. Next second, Euphemina said, however I have a condition, please make me an orb. One that can contain as much magic as possible. Grid thought, an orb, I've never made one before, why me, who cares, let's agree for now. Euphemina said, and one more thing, don't call me a kid, I have a name, Euphemina, call me that. Soon, Grid finally out. Grid questioned, but why have you come to rescue me? Wait, rather than that. How did a blacksmith get in here? Euphemina said, I am not a blacksmith, I have the hidden class duplicator. I copied con skills during the competition. Grid replied, hidden class, I heard that there were only 3 people with those, you were one of them, but why are you revealing your identity to me even though you made an alias and all to hide it? Euphemina replied, cause either way, we will get to know each other soon enough. Don't you have a hidden class as well, one that's at least unique grade? Grid questioned, you knew, how, could it be, do you like me? Euphemina said, stop talking nonsense, I don't know what class you have, but you have to fight properly now, otherwise, we will both die here. Euphemina, I've already dealt with more than 100 of them, you need to assist me to survive. Grid said, God damn it, I only have a single dagger on me, even if I wanted to help, then Grid noticed it is an unique dagger. System alerted, this is an item you crafted, your understanding is that 100% penalties will be applied as you don't meet the requirement. Reduction of 20% in attack power and half of the option effects. Euphemina said, wow, you were part of the Assassin series, was not one of the restrictions advanced dagger mastery, but wait, you also have master blacksmith skills, how did you do that? Grid thought this kid must have seen the item's details, seeing how she did not take it, is she truly nice? Euphemina said, here it comes. Grid cast Wind Blast and questioned, are you just going to spectate? Euphemina said, other than rescuing you, the rest is extra work for me. Moreover, my skills are a bit costly. Grid said, don't be stubborn in this situation. System alerted, you have 1 hour and 25 minutes left to complete the quest. Grid said, don't be like this, we need to save someone else. Euphemina said, I already saved Old Man Khan on my way here. Grid replied, he was arrested as well, that's a relief, but the one I need to save is a guy called Huroy. I've only met him once, so I don't know much either. Euphemina said, I don't want to get too deeply involved to save a stranger. It's excessive, you see. Grid said, I am also tired of getting involved, just listen to me, you insolent kid. Euphemina said, did not I tell you not to call me a kid and cast Spear of Destruction? Grid dodged and cast all the warrior behind dead. Grid thought it's this powerful, even though she did not chant, she can rival Yura. Euphemina said, I will let it slide this time since we need to save someone. But I'd really love it if you did not call me a kid. Grid said, I have committed a grave sin, madam. Soon, they had to be where high probability Huroy at. Due to Euphemina activated a trap, there was an hole at bottom. Grid jumped into it and said, this is the fastest way to get down there, I will leave them to you. I don't even have armor so I can't fight them, wipe them out with a flame spell or something, I will find Huroy. Euphemina reminds, if I use fire in this closed space, we are toast, you scumbag. Grid thought, a duplicator, can she duplicate anyone's skills, normally? The greatest flaw of powerful magic spells is the long casting time. But to think that she's a magician who can cast those instantly, what a cheat. Well, thanks to that I don't have to worry about her watching my back. Lock them well, kid. Euphemina cast Frost Queen's Breath, she thought they just keep coming no matter how many I defeat. It would be nice to use the wide-range flame spells, but I would explode along with them. There are 11 spells left from Piero's quest. I won't lose to mere guards, but the problem is amongst all those guards. I don't see the 5 Knights of Winston. Soon, Grid heard the sound of Huroy. Huroy reached his limit and start request for help. Then Grid encountered warrior Leo earlier. Leo said, I've heard of your prison break, if you were working with Huroy. I knew you would come here. Grid thought, shit, a knight is at least level 180, what should I do? Grid said, did you gain some balls, you were all bark and no bite earlier. Leo replied, I see that your mouth is healthy, you wretch, I shall personally kill you, be grateful. Grid thought, did I provoke him too much, and activated Blacksmith's rage quick movements. System alerted, your attack power and attack speed have greatly increased for 20 seconds, your agility and evasion rate have greatly increased for 1 minute. Grid barely blocked the attack, he thought without this dagger's quick movements I would have been finished. Leo said, insulting me and blocking my attack, a mere blacksmith dares to hurt my pride, I shall be angered no more with my fatal flame sword. You shall die. System alerted, you have suffered 17,300 damage, a legend does not die easily activated. Grid immediately took a potion. Grid wonders what did he stop. Then he recalled back Euphemina said if I use fire in this closed space, we are toast, you scumbag, a dust explosion. Leo questioned what did you do to me? Grid said it's a difference in skills, what else? System alerted you have defeated a Knight of Winston, the title Knight Slayer has been acquired, you have obtained the prison key, you have gained 13 level. You are currently at level 45. Soon, Grid opened up Huroi door and said I am planning on punching you but you look like you are at death's door. System alerted quest cleared. You have acquired the second class Apostle of Justice's partner. Huroi thought no matter who it is, as long as you help me in this quest my loyalty is yours. Huroi said I am damn. Ilun Batar descendant of the Blue Wolf by putting the name Apostle of Justice's partner on the line. I shall follow you and repay this debt. Grid thought what's wrong with him, he must lost his mind. The duplicator someone who can copy skills and gain the benefits of all classes. It can be seen as the most useful class out of them all with a correct combination of skills. They can defeat a boss alone or become a one-man army. However, they can only duplicate 3 skills a day, and each skill only has a single use. They only have 9 basic skills and none of them are combat-oriented. Finally, the duplicator has poor physical abilities. Taking these into account, a duplicator with a large supply of skills can become the strongest. But once the skills are all used up, Euphemina will be at her weakest state. She thought there still are elite knights left, I've used almost all of my skills. But, thanks to that, they won't approach me carelessly. There was a huge explosion earlier, seeing how he has not come back yet, Grid might have died. Actually, no, even if he managed to rescue Huroi, would he come back here to help me? The knight questioned what do we do if that Grid guy escaped? Another knight replied there are the Lord's bodyguards upstairs. But we need to end things here. Euphemina thought I can't hold on more than this. The 3 spells I have left are a fire attribute. I will end up killing myself if I use those in this enclosed space. I should not have trusted him. I should not have gotten involved. Soon, Euphemina being injured before the last blow hit her. Euphemina thought there's a 50% chance rolling dice. If the target is yourself or an ally 4 or higher will have a beneficial effect. 3 or lower will have a harmful effect. If the target is an enemy, 3 or lower will have a beneficial effect, 4 or higher will have a harmful effect. Grid said you self-proclaimed righteous knights are ganging up on a girl, how shameless. Euphemina said in here I was cursing you in my head, you should have come faster. The knights can't believe that Leo was defeated. Grid confidently said I did get rid of a swine called Leo. Did you think you could injure a single strand of my hair? Grid stepped forwards which scared all the knights. The knights said we cannot be disgraced by a mere jailbreaker. Grid said is that so, hey Euphemina show them what you are made of. Euphemina replied right now I can't really, why don't you do it yourself? Grid stunned and said I can't beat them. Euphemina said did not you defeat a knight on your own, just do it. The knight attacked towards at the same time, Huroi blocked it with strong will activated. Huroi thought it's the priceless skill that I received after enduring that hellish trial. Huroi said that 2 of you should run away, I will hold them back. He wonders since I have decided to pay back this debt my whole life. Grid told him hold on for as long as you can. Huroi activated Spiteful Tongue and caused all opponents' stats have decreased. Huroi thought and now my new skill, taste this unbreakable justice. Deals 300% of your physical attack power. Huroi thought as I thought a useless skill for a feeble order like me. Since the quest is finished, I can log out with no repercussions. And it seems like Winston City Lord is finished. 50 hours now, I can finally rest, I've done everything I can. Grid NYM, I wish you good fortune. Soon, when they get out Euphemina thought we still need to escape from the castle. If the knights downstairs start cooperating with the Lord's bodyguards, things can get difficult. Grid said the air is so pure and nice. Euphemina said I told you to shut up, I will kill you if you don't listen to me. She wonders seriously out of all things, this side of him annoys me the most. This attitude of messing with me, even though he has a higher class than me. Grid questioned, hey, those guys, are they our enemies? The Lord of Winsiton Baron said to think that all those soldiers and knights were defeated. Grid said it's because you were making such a ruckus. Euphemina replied, you are the one who was being loud. Baron thought, if let them get away, I won't be able to stop the citizens from reporting to Erlstein. If that happens, I am finished. Baron said, kill those unforgivable sinners. Grid told Euphemina, get rid of them, you can do it right. She thought, since we are not an enclosed, or I can now blow them up as much as I want. Demon King's tailfire. Baron said, impossible, my bodyguards were annihilated in one hit. Euphemina said, I was feeling irritated from losing all the skills I was saving and because of a certain man who loves to annoy people. But, thanks to you, I could get rid of some of that stress. Now follow us outside this infuriating castle. Grid thought, such a terrifying woman, let's not antagonize her. But who is annoying her? Soon. Rabbit said, great work, everyone. Grid thought he was working with the Marrow Company. Damn it, so things are not over yet. Euphemina said, are they the ones you've prepared? Grid wonders, oh yeah, Euphemina was also hired by the Marrow Company. Wait, then why did she rescue me? Is this a trap? What's happening exactly? My stats are very high compared to my level. I have 4 titles, even though those are hard to acquire. They have around 10 subordinates, thankfully. They are not heavily armed. I must increase my attack power and defense with my remaining stats points. System alerted, you have invested 150 stat points in strength and 90 stat points in stamina. Although Grid was nervous even after increasing his stats. He had unknowingly become very strong. An ordinary level 45's total stat points should be under 500. However, Grid's stat points totaled more than 1300. Once he equipped his ideal dagger, Grid was stronger than a level 100 combat class fighter. However, his experiences of facing overwhelmingly stronger opponents had sprouted hesitation within him. Baron questioned Rabbit, what are you talking about with the devilish wretch? Hurry up and release me. Rabbit said, I am not a member of the Marrow Company anymore. I am about to punish you and Volman for your deeds. Therefore, please follow us obediently. I am a merchant. Therefore, I am obviously acting with profit in mind. I shall bet everything on you. Mr. Grid, with your skills you will be able to create incredible luxuries. But on your own, you won't be able to gain the full potential of profits. If you join me, I am confident that we will become bigger and greater than small and medium-sized enterprises. I shall bet my resources and experiences on you. Grid thought, is that why he rescued me? Grid questioned, but why are you raising the flag of rebellion against the Lord and the company? Rabbit replied, because our business will start at Khan's Smithy, the symbol of Winston. We must sever the hands of tyranny to regain the trust of the citizens. Euphemina said, let's go quickly, we must hurry up to end this affair. Rabbit said, I will inform you of the details after we have dealt with the company. I will definitely make you richer than you could ever be. Euphemina said, I hope you don't forget about your promise to craft me my unique rated orb. Grid replied, I did not forget, but you must get the materials and the production method for me. Grid thought, I am getting a free production method. Thanks, kid. Everything finally over now. I am so tired, let's log out. But I can finally see a silver lining, the revenue of small and medium-sized enterprises. I am finally rich. Rabbit said, but it seems like Grid was terrified of you, did something happen inside? Euphemina replied, he's not afraid, he's just messing around. That man has the skills to defeat a Knight of the Lord in 1 versus 1 battle. Rabbit replied, what? Then he's stronger than knights, that kind of powerful blacksmith can't exist. Then he thought, Pagma? There is one in existence that fulfilled both requirements. My goodness, it all makes sense when you take those blacksmithing skills and his strength into account, he is Pagma's descendant. To think that the day would come where I handle the works of Pagma's descendant. Aiming for a big enterprise is not far-fetched after all. However, the honorable vision he had as a merchant never came to pass. The Marrow Company fell under Euphemina and Rabbit's actions, and the company and the Lord's misdeeds were revealed to Earl Stein. Valmont and Baron Lowe were sent to the frontier, and this entire affair ended when Earl Stein ordered their executions. However, during these events, Rabbit was sentenced to 10 years in prison. He had not predicted that Earl Stein would be a stern figure and would not forgive the entirety of the Marrow Company. Rabbit thought, although I life what a pity, Mr. Grid. However, I have successfully decorated a single page of a future legend's biography. Once the tyrants were overthrown, the village of Winston quickly recovered its original activity. A storyteller said, therefore, the second in command of the company, the world's most beautiful lady and one young blacksmith brought back peace to Winston. Irene told such an entertaining story. Here is the tips for telling me the story. And this story linked back to the seed from the Jotun temple as Earl Stein appointed his daughter, Irene, as the new lady of Winston. Back to reality, broadcaster said, breaking news, to all users of Satisfy, the very first second class of Satisfy has emerged. Location USA, a man said the SAW group said that they are not willing to disclose information about the second class. Location UK, a woman said, I just received the news that the user is from Mongolia. How surprising, they don't even have many users. Location China, the lady said the SAW group is trying to dominate the world using the game, we must stop people from playing Satisfy. Location Japan, the girl said, since a Japanese person obtained an epic class, I am certain the next person to gain a second class will be Japanese. Another lady said, but don't you think Korea also has the potential? Satisfy is a Korean game, and they have the users. The girl said no, other than Euro, they don't have any crucial rankers, so I don't think they have a chance. Location Korea, the man said, they say that with a second class, you gain access to a wider variety of weapons to choose from, along with new skills and stats. You also gain 2 additional stat points with each level up. Grid thought 2 additional stat points, what a cheat. The one who got the second class is so lucky, damn it, I am so jealous. Afterward, Grid told his family, I won't go to the labor office anymore. His dad questioned, are you going to spend your days unemployed again? He said, how can you be so selfish at that age? His mother said, you even have debts to pay, you did not get tricked by your friend to join a pyramid scheme again, did you? Grid said, that's not the case, I am playing as a blacksmith in the game. So I can sell the items I produce to make money. A great merchant said he'd help me, so I might make the same amount as a CEO's salary. Next second, his dad threw a spoon over and said, you want to play games in your room, is that what you are saying? He said, Opa, if you could actually make money through the game, you would not be swimming in debt in the first place. Grid explained, I gained a legendary blacksmith class, so it's gonna be different. His dad said, stop with that nonsense, go to the labor office first thing tomorrow. Grid thought, no one's listening to me, this is driving me crazy, as I thought money is the problem, I need to trust him if I want to stop working there. Alright, let's accept Rabbit's proposal. With the knowledge of a large company second in command and by using Consmithy as a comfortable base of operations, I can create the results and finally convince my parents. Soon, Grid questioned Khan, looks like that incident is finally over, did Rabbit come by? Khan said, so you have not heard. Speaking of which, I have something for you. Rabbit wrote that, Mr. Grid, I did not get pardoned due to my previous sins while in the company. Therefore, our business plans ended up going down the drain. However, with Khan's help, you can become the richest man if you use your skills correctly. I pray that I will get to hear of your legendary feats from far away. Khan said. Earl Stein said that a complete pardon would not be possible. Rabbit was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Khan said, don't be so upset, I also have a proposal. I will hand you the smithy, you have earned the right to receive this smithy, since you protected it from the Marrow Company. Once I become too old to work, it would be greatest honor to have Pagma's descendant receive this smithy. Grid thought, he's gonna give me this smithy, I've never heard of anyone receiving business from an NPC. Grid said, I will believe you if you sign a contract. Khan said, here, are you satisfied? System alerted, you have obtained the position Smithy's successor. Grid thought, is this a dream? Although I will have to work hard from now on, I can become the owner of a smithy. Khan said, then let us start training. Are you ready to become the smithy's owner? Meanwhile, Jishuka thought, why can't I find those arrows anymore? Even though blacksmiths generally make a few thousands of arrows each time. He disappeared after putting up a mere 99 for auction. Did another guild find him already? She talked in the guild chat, told them if you don't find the blacksmith within this month, you will all undergo the health training. System alerted, Vantner has logged in. Jishuka questioned Vantner, why did you sleep for 7 hours? You will get your ranking stolen. Vantner explained, I was late from looking up some interesting information I found online. Do you know the Winston village? There was an item production competition between users in that village. Amongst the 2 users, one of them crafted an epic grade dagger within 3 hours. Even the top blacksmith ranker Pammer can't do that. Then she told everyone to head to Winston, the last one to arrive will die. Meanwhile, the 3rd epic class Blood Warrior, this epic class's attack power and duration was specialized in hunting. Katz is currently level 216, unified ranking 40, the second son of Jean, a major Japanese conglomerate. However, his unified ranking that was rising at high speeds thanks to his tenacity and his special classes effects had not increased at all this past month, no matter how much he hunted. Katz wonders, why can't I reach rank 1 no matter how hard I try? Are my skills too poor? I won't acknowledge that. My elder and younger brothers are gaining ground on me in our fight to be the successor. I can't let myself be a loser in the game as well. I need to catch up. I need to go to hunting grounds with higher leveled enemies. I have enough money, so I will just need to persevere using advanced potions. But there are not any high-grade equipment on auction house. What the hell are those production class users doing? Those lazy and useless blacksmiths. 1 month later, location Frontier, the capital city of the Steinreldom. Euphemina was also in deep thoughts. She wonders, I can't seem to find production methods for orbs. It's so difficult to find production methods for high-grade items, even though I have been looking for a month. I did get 6,500 gold for clearing the quest, but can't find uses for it. She said, not only am I feeling annoyed, but now it's also unpleasant. Reveal yourself, I already know you are there. She wonders, thanks to my class trait, my detection skills are quite high. But I'm getting monitored even though I did not reveal my name on the ranking list as a secret ranker. This is a first. Who could it be? This guy named Faker Assassin rank 1, he thought a single blacksmith detected my presence. That's not possible. His teammate texted him, don't kid yourself, it's obvious you got caught. Faker thought, damn it. After receiving information about the item competition, our entire guild members are gathering right now. Thanks to the numerous eyewitnesses, we quickly managed to find the winner. The winner of the game, the rumored blacksmith arena. Jishuka reminds me I will meet her in person, keep monitoring her until I arrive. Faker wonders, I was planning on watching her from a distance until Jishuka arrived. But she detected me despite my level 7 stealth skill. Euphemina launched magic spell, seeing Faker does not want to appear. Faker said, so you did detect us, is everyone alright? Euphemina said, stop following me like a pervert. Angels scream. Faker thought, how a blacksmith can use top-level magic. Is she not the blacksmith we are looking for? It's a trap laid by a guild who is also going after the special Yafa arrows creator. They are trying to deter us by using fake news. The item competition may have been made up from the start. Faker said, you got us this time. What guild are you part of? Euphemina questioned, why are all the men I meet these days psychopaths, monitoring, and now threats? I am sick of you all. Faker said, such power even without chanting, what a shocker, but it's useless for me. Faker blinked to her behind and launched powerful kick. Euphemina thought, it's the first time I go fit by a user after becoming a duplicator. This guy is strong. Then Euphemina against eliminated all Faker's clones in a hit. Then she casted Ancient Queen's Knight. Faker thought she summoned a familiar even though she is not a summoner. That's not possible. What destructive power! A knight is the worst matchup to an assassin who mainly fights using stealth. If I can't fight the knight head-on, I will aim for the real body. Let's see if your defensive magic just is as good. Euphemina thought those are explosive flying knives that react to magic. She dodged with an assassin's skill which shocked Faker. A man said, "Don't fight alone, we will help." Faker. Euphemina launched powerful area of attack dragon claws. Faker thought this is impossible, she has an overwhelming advantage even against 4 high rankers. Jashuka arrived and said everything's gone, just who are they fighting against? A man said she single-handedly defeated 4 guild members including Fakers. Apparently, she used all kind of skills from different classes. Jashuka thought she might be a user with a hidden class. Jashuka said she dares to lay her hand on our guild. To rule is the strongest guild, we cannot look feeble. Find her immediately, I will annihilate her and her backers. Back to Grid. Khan questioned, why don't you take a break, you really don't get tired, huh? Grid thought, well, I guess I've been hammering nonstop for an entire month. But, thanks to that, I've realized a few things. First, if I keep producing the same item over and over again, I don't get as much experience. Second, there are 2 conditions to successfully craft high-grade items. Either you use high-quality materials, or spend a lot of time and effort when using average materials. Third, when dealing with heavy ores, dexterity is not the only important stat. I need to have high strength and stamina as well. Grid thought, but my stamina and my stats are not much of a problem. Just by crafting all this time, all my stats have risen by 30. And the production skills that would not level up finally did. The problem is, even though I spent over 6 hours on each item and produced a total of 73 items, the only high-rated ones are 3 epic items. Legendary my ass. At least there's the list of item production methods. There are a few dozens of production methods that Khan passed on to me as his successor. When I think of how much I suffered initially trying to receive a single production method from him. Now that I